Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My AL2 been on network about 16 hours. Let's check it out. Yes, let me refresh here. 16 hours 32 minutes and no rejected shares, 7,500 shares about, and the hash rate here on the web GUI is about 2100 gigahash average, so it's a little bit higher than. Let's check the pool. And on the pool we have 1 hour is 2200 terahash, 2.200 terahash, and the 15 minutes 2.5, which is a little higher, but it's a spikes. I need to get full 24-hour, which is not there yet, and the rewards is only 1.3 lithium for 16 hours, so it's not full 24-hour cycle. I need to basically get that through that area. I'll be disconnecting this miner and taking apart in this video so I can take a look, so it will probably get my screwed up a little bit my report there for a little bit, but it's overall pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna disconnect this from the network, take it apart. Obviously we're gonna avoid the warranty. I don't know, there's another sticker outside here. I don't think it's covering any screws, but yeah, time to shut it down. It's creating quite a bit of heat, I should say. It's a little nice heater, you know, heating up the space here in this room pretty nicely. So let's turn it off, disconnect the power, and let's see what we have inside. We'll try to get it from this side. Have this little sticker here. Okay, let's take it apart. All right, so let's see which side we should take it first. So looks like this one, probably the one we'll have to get to it from the fan side, but let's try to take this part first and see where we're gonna get with this. So there's 4 screws on this side. Will we get any access at all? By the way, it looks like similar screw that's on the AS0, AL0, all of those guys. There is a couple more screws there. I don't think this plate will give us enough access at all, if any. All right, so we can see the big heatsinks there. Obviously this is the 2 hash boards we've seen. Wow, they're pretty hot. All right, so we could see the power supply just coming from right there. It's pretty narrow. That's probably rated maybe like 600 700 watts, because miner looks like this stuff is just almost trying to slide out, but there's something holding up there. So let's take actually apart from where we should be taking this part. So obviously we're going to get the sticker off. All right, so let's see. All right, so yeah, we do have fans connected kind of weirdly on this side. So they're probably a board, control board. So it looks like a little ASIC, mini ASIC with the power supply just connected to each hash board. So we can disconnect, slide out the hash boards. Okay, so fans 1 and 2. So the second one was on this side. All right, so what do we do here? Doesn't look like it slides there, but it slides. Okay, so you don't even need to take apart this side, really. You can just keep it on and basically slide it back up the way it fits. Small side out, just like that. A little tricky to get between those rails and fit. So where the air starts flowing, the size of this heat sinks kind of narrows and then increases, so get more heat out. Oh wow, this is so weird. This is so tiny. We could see the hashing board there. You can probably take apart, remove these two boards. I can put this grill later. So yeah, let's get to that power supply, see if we can figure it out something to be able to okay, hash board 1. Should we take it apart, see what chips? Just wondering, compared to AL0. We actually have access already. Yeah, the control board definitely different from any other board, so you can't use any of those KS3, KS3Ms, I guess, boards. So I'm gonna take this out, take this part off. So looks like we have one of this negative, one is positive, but I can't tell which one. I'm just gonna keep them just running this way so I don't mix them up until we actually figure it out. So their power coming to control board, which probably, there's two power connection. One goes on this side, probably 12 volts, and there is another that actually controls this PSU. So yeah, I don't know if we can replace that PSU altogether. Yeah, there's positive and a negative labeled there, so this is the positive side going out. There is nothing much labeled. Yeah, there's a little plus there, so that's the positive going out further. What else we could see here? So if we take, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws to take this board out. It's kind of attached to the control board that can take a little while to get to it. It's not as easy as the other control boards. I guess they're gonna sell maybe that PSUs, which kind of weird. It's almost of the size of the server PSU, but not quite long. It's very short. So if we will compare, yeah, it's a little bit wider than server PSU, but it's a lot shorter, so can substitute with like 1400 watt or 1200 watt. Obviously the size is quite a bit different, and you need to get this adapter, completely different adapter to get this power out of this. I guess you can do adapter and put multiple 5, 6 of the PCIe from breakboard, just customly made to connect. So it'll be, my guess will be harder to overclock this just because of that. So yeah, here you go, the same NAND with the firmware. I don't see where the connector for UART would be. I wonder, maybe somewhere. Yeah, can't tell just by looking at it. Where possibly over this Probably just this, no, was... So anyways, that's how it looks inside. You could see on that board. So now I have to connect back. Need to first put it back together. Yeah, that white cable was from over here, 3-pin connector. Oh, so it looks like this whole thing slide out. That's weird, isn't it? The whole connector part just slided out of these pins. That's so weird. That's bad. This is bad right there, because if I'm gonna plug it in wrong way, that's gonna be a horrible thing. Now I need to test, make sure which side positive, which side negative. I'll probably gonna pause the video and check it out. How am I supposed to connect that? And I will connect back this board. So there's nothing else. So this probably UART connector. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's pretty standard way that they power it. So there's a power connector that it's possible to replicate, and this is the control of the PSU. So that's a little harder to work with because it's basically turns, gets the power and turns the main power on this stuff when the miner is ready. So you will not turn the voltage here until the control board is ready for hashing, I guess, something like that. Anyways, or the miner started, so you will not just run the chips without the whole system working. All right, so I did check my video, so this connector correctly, the yellow wire, positive wire, was on the side towards the board. So we all good on this connection. That was my only worry about it, not to connect properly. All right, so that's pretty much how it looks. Obviously everything exposed, bunch of the capacitors here on this side and around transformer, and yeah, this overheats. I don't know, but anyhow it's gonna be hard. Need to make sure there's available replacement. There is some pin, like 5-pin, 2, 3, 4, 5-pin connector for something there. But yeah, that's your control. So let me do one board. We'll take it apart and look at the chips, I guess, since we're already here. Right, okay, right here. Whoa. So let me see if I guessed correctly, if there is a 30 chips or not. So let's count them. Oh, so they're not like interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 4, that's already 32, 34, 30. 334. So it's 34 chips, not 30 like I thought. Well, 12, 12, 24. Yeah, it should be 30 just to get to the same hash rate, but there are apparently 4 extra chips there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so it looks like 32 plus 2, 34 chips. So they're doing 4 extra chips there, and they're 575 clocks. I thought that's what we have now. They're AL0 probably 625 starting, so they lowered the clock, so possibly it's the same chips. Let's clean it up and see. So I'd like to get this pink stuff away. By the way, these chips were like pretty hot, like 80, running 80, right? On this 575 stuck from where? So I hope that they get enough of the coolant. And again, look at this plastic again all over this top, similar like on KS3M that I had. This little piece of plastic right there, right, covering right over, but looks like it's not covering the chips, which is a good part, right? So let's get a closer look, see if we can get any numbers. Okay, yeah, looks like M4 G875 2436 3678 6A 3678 6A 23 2436. So M4 G875. Are these the same chips or not? M4 G875. I need to go check my video back for AL0 to make sure if this is actually same chips on the board. All right, so I did found the video that I took from AL0 ICERIVER first look inside, and it was M6 A614 chips in AL0, so definitely a different one. 3678 6A is the same number, but that's I don't know what's that serial stands for, but definitely a different chips, guys. So that's why they probably had to use 60A chips instead of 60. That's just my guess. See, like the last number is 36. Sorry for the shaking here. 3678 6A is the same, but M4G 875, M6A 614 definitely is a different chips, I guess. My guess is right. Anyways, we'll have to put back the thermal paste. I'm gonna use the MX6 for that, so we'll repaste it at the same time. We'll just put it back together. Yeah, look at this these humongous connectors. I mean, not humongous, but a lot larger than just what you think we're trying to overclock for 250 watts. Those AL0, and this is designed for 250, so obviously overkill, I guess. So if we can figure out how to cool this and not overheat any of the other components in this board, and use power supply, server PSU somehow, get one of those. This is 750 watts, so that would be just as good as that one, but there's 1400 watts that I have for 240 volts, and that could work perfectly. So let me finish cleaning this up real quick, and we'll come back to it. Like repaste it, and now we have to make sure we're going in properly, sitting in carefully, and we'll start with one by one of these screws. All right, so it's ready to go back in, I guess. I'm just going to blow this extra stuff that I got from this pink nasty thermal paste. All right, they keep on using that pink. I don't know if they got better with this, but
let's go back together. So that's how it was right there. Positive on that side. So we need to continue to, how do we figure this out? All right. Obviously, we're gonna be going this way. This is the long positive way. No, I'm not sure. No. Definitely positive was on this side. So supposed to go from here, right? Because that's, no, sorry, right, this positive on this side. Yeah, wow, almost screwed up there a little bit, right? So yeah, that's how it was clicked in. I don't know why they kind of flip this stuff around, but I guess, yeah, you can actually do so many different ways and really connect this power supply wrong and possibly damage these boards, because see, like, you have positive on this side, negative on this side. Also, when you connect them, look how close negative and the positive there. They're really close together. They're touching each other. So I guess when you put it in, you have to it kind of spreads out a little bit when you tighten the screws. There's a little bit of looseness, sort of speak. So I guess you're gonna have to adjust to make sure there's right spacing so they're not touching before you actually tighten these boards in. And you probably want to tighten them completely when you're already in the case. That's just my guess, I don't know. All right, so if you want to get to your connector without taking this out, I don't know if this is it. Probably you're probably gonna go from this side. I don't see any other connectors, so that's probably the only one for the UART. Have to figure out the positive, negative, and receiver transmitter part there. That's it. I guess now we have to figure the way to slide it right back in to this case, right? And hopefully this minor kind of work after we did so much to it. All right, so I don't think I put it together right, you know, to be honest. None of this lines up from this side at least. Oh, right there, actually it did. Let's see what else. What else wrong? Where's my was just touching it a little bit. All right, so looks like I was able to slide it all down. It was just catching somewhere on that power supply side. So this side perfectly fine the way it was for the plate. So this plate will go just right there. All that matches to the everything back in. I guess I just have to make sure, yeah, it's flushed here. Yeah, looks like it's perfect. So first I'm probably gonna connect this plate just to make sure everything fits there, just like so. So it looks like these two screws you will have to remove because that's where the power supply connects. You don't need to remove the rest of the screw of this grill, but you could if it makes it a little bit easier to see all the parts inside. But I guess you have to, these two for sure, because that's connected to the PSU. kind of holds PSU right against the plate, so it doesn't slide in and out when you push the wire in, I mean the connector for the power supply. So yeah, looks like very basic, but it's all metal case again. I don't know why everybody complain, of course, about ICERIVER quality, but at the same time it's not the worst probably I've seen. Obviously it's interesting design because looks like it's all aluminum body and case, powder coated, so it's just everything metal. There is no really plastic here besides obviously fans, but yeah, and look, the fan blowing actually air through the power supply as well. So now at this point, I guess I can re-tight my so I'll have to be really careful to tighten this up. I usually want to tighten with hand tight because you could feel it rather than impact driver. So make sure there's no looseness and do not over tight with impact. It's really, you can ruin the thread there and you'll be done with this. So this side was that, and it will be a little bit easier because this is closer, yeah. So I'm gonna do this one first. All right, and then this will be my second on this side. Perfect, okay. So both connectors are down on the fans and we're ready to put it back in. Well, nice little neat design, aluminum case. I mean, I like it overall. And it just generates so much heat. So I'm wondering which board I repaste. I don't know if there is a number 1 or 2. Obviously I did 1 and I want to see, before it was 80 degrees on both of them on the chip temperature. So I really want to see if with the Dune MX6 really did any difference to the chip. Okay, so let's put it back and make sure we can go back online, because I missed a little bit of the mining time. I was actually hoping to find a little easier way to connect PSU there, but I guess idea will be figuring out going from breakout board with multiple PCIe cables and create kind of custom connector to those hash boards. So for overclocking, this needs to be taken apart, maybe larger fans. I don't know if that's even gonna be an option, so we'll see. We'll see if anyone gonna come up with this overclocks for this miner. So let's put it back online and see if it's gonna work. All right, so we're connecting the Ethernet back in, and then our power connector. So obviously this cable didn't come with that, so you need to make sure you have this computer cable. It's only 500 watts, so any size of wire, you don't need to use that heavy 12 gauge that I have. You can use 14 gauge even, because that's not very powerful. Actually, you know what? I want to put actually the power meter so we can actually see real-time power consumption. All right, so I have it plugged into the power meter. So right now 0 watts, 0 amps, 114 volts. Let's turn the power on here. And let's see if this is gonna start. Obviously there is a power off button here probably, which we need to turn on, and nothing going on. So something wrong with our connection. Whoa. All
All right, so my miner didn't start and I thought I did something wrong, so I had to take everything apart, take the board out, make sure I connect everything back correctly. One more time, I watched my video and everything was fine. I connected properly, everything, and I don't know, it didn't start mining. There was a little green light blinking here, this little tiny one. Boom, 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 right? So I'll show you in a second. So let me put it back together. Right, so I connect this miner back, everything back together, and actually I checked the power supply and it says it's compatible with 100 to 240 volts. So it's supposed to work on the 120 volt outlet, but I had 114 volts. So I tested it out. What I did, I just plugged it in to the power supply to my 240 volt outlet, and it did start it. So now I had to put it all back together just for another test. So I'm gonna plug into 110, see if it's gonna start now, or we still need to get to 140 volts or 220. So I'm gonna plug into my 120 volt. It's actually 114, so not 120, but it's rated the PSU on, I forgot to show you guys on the probably somewhere in the video you can pause and see that, but it did not start on 114 volt, which weird because yesterday I was able to start on 114 volts and the whole night it was on no problem, but right after I put it together, this is just kind of weird. Let me try one more time and see if it's gonna do the same problem or not. It did. It doesn't start, guys, so it could be potentially a problem you having. If you connect this to 110 volts, your power supply may not gonna start right away. And you could see, I'm gonna show you that green light blinking because you could probably see it from angle right there. See that light? All right, so it's keep on blinking just like that, nothing happening. Now I bring to my 240 volts. Let's do that. I'm gonna turn it off, unplug it here from 115. It's already 115 volts, so let's see. Doesn't make any difference, 115, no, nothing. All right, so let's unplug and let's bring it to 240. All right, I just brought it to my garage where the Octaminer's running obviously on 240 volts. And this is my 240 volt connection there. So let's plug it in first. All right. And let's turn the power on right here. And here you go, it did start on 240. So this is potential problem for home miner. If you are, it's supposed to start on your 120 volt outlet, and I don't understand what possibly wrong with this PSU. Let's try one more time. I'm gonna bring back 120 if it doesn't work. I need to figure basically location here, but that makes no sense because really I like this heater. It's not everybody have a 240 volts, 220 volts in your home here in US. So I mean, I can plug it in here in the garage in mine, but that's just a waste of heat, you know. That's just ridiculous. Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna try one more time. 115 volts there. Let's try one more time and see if after doing 240 anything. Oh, look, it did start after that. So looks like it's maybe charged capacitors. And that light is solid green now, it's not blinking. So I have no clue if this is the process. You may need to phase, like start it on 240 and then bring it back and restart, but it just doesn't make any sense. So you may kind of charge your capacitors, turn it back on 120, and then it will work. But it did work all night, no problem. Hopefully this is just an issue, so you can fix that by plugging it into 240, let it run for a few, 10-20 seconds, charge up those capacitors, I guess. That's just my only guess, but maybe there's another problem. And come back and turn it on and see, start the fans. So everything normal now. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's 38 watts right now at the wall. Hope you guys could see that right there. And 46, 47, 100. So yeah, it will start now the hashing boards. It may take probably a few minutes before it goes to the full power. So right now at 115 volts, we are drawing almost 4 amps, 466 watts. It start blinking, but I don't think it start hashing full hash yet. So we need to give it like 5 minutes and check the power consumption again. Yeah, so it's already 476 and it'll probably reach more than 500, my guess, but let's wait and see. Maybe 5 more minutes until we get the hash. All right, so it's been 8 minutes on the network. We have 2 terahash of the hash rate. We connected, no rejected shares. The board's temperature seems fine. It's 59.66, 63.69. So probably a little cooler on the one that I repaced. That's just my guess. But also take a look here on ICERIVER monitor tool. What I have is the board 2, which is, I'm not sure what board it is. Of course, the chip number 8 again is 0, so it's not reading correctly, or is something going on with that chip. So maybe it's a reading problem. I hope that's what it is. So I usually, when I restart, what I did last time, so it looks like KS2 in ICERIVER monitor tool showing first 2 boards that 18 chips, and then it's 18 and 14. So it's total 68 chips. Maybe how it counts, like in the order, not by the boards here. Anyways, that's just my guess. Don't take my word for it. But again, I don't like that being there in the gray, so I cannot see the temperature. So we're gonna reboot that in a minute. Just first want to show you guys the 10 minutes probably already. Yeah, we're 9-10 minutes, and let's take a look at the power consumption there, right here. So yes, we are 515. We are doing 515 watts right there, 516 watts and 113 volts. So it does mine on 110 volt basically, what it's rated for, but it did not start. It did start initially when it just came right out of the box. So I don't know what's going on, guys, but it's already producing enough heat to use as a little heater, space heater. And like I showed in the last video, it's the output is about 71 Celsius, which is pretty hot air, you know. If you measure like the heat of this 60 degree of this RX0, and it's really hot to touch. It's super hot, and it's only 60 Celsius, but this one is 71, so it's 72 almost degrees here. It's producing a lot of heat. Obviously, the fan's running only like a 1600 RPM probably right now, or 1500 or 2000. So 2000 RPM because it's warmed up a little bit. But the first board now, what happened there? Something happened with my logout. So the first board is actually cooler, which I think the one I repaced by several degrees, 58, 65 versus 62, 68. Yeah, so it's about 4 degrees difference there, right? Plus minus. So that's my guessing for repasting there. But again, I'm not sure if that was the first board or not. I kind of don't know until I unplug it. To be honest, it's gonna be hard to figure it out. But anyways, I guess that's it for this video. I just want to show inside parts, and I want to show the power consumption, and the main part, that the problem that I have, I'm glad I had that, because I noticed that problem on Gold Shell, I believe. I'm not sure if the Rabbit Mining posted some video. He couldn't start his miner with a similar problem. It makes me think this similar to Gold Shell. Maybe they're using similar power supply, which when you plug into 115 volt or 113 volts right now, see 516 watts. So obviously when fan running a little bit, when it gets hotter to 2000 RPM, both fans, it's still kind of quiet. You can hear it, but it's super quiet, guys. I really like it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right, so after rebooting the miner, looks like it's hashing back again, and we have a chip number 8 there on the second board. No problem, it's showing up now, and that's just a weird way that is, I think it's a little defective way that one of the chips starts showing right from the gate. So that was the first thing I noticed when I just got the miner. Obviously unfortunate, I don't know if there's something going on, but after reboot I'm still happy it's showing the temperatures, voltages, everything is in there. So hopefully that's information correct, and that's it. See you guys on the next one. Peace.